you go to your doctor and they get the blood work taken and it comes back normal and you're getting really frustrated because you know something's not right. Well, I have some answers. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to be the best person to read your own labs. If you're a chiropractor and you're trying to figure out how do you bust into this virtual scene, how do you have that conversation with your current clients like, hey, I can do more for you and we can help you get better results. Well, this is what today's episode is about because Dr. Carolina is having the exact same problem. So Carolina, welcome on and tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump in.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I am in practice in Atlanta, Georgia right now and am in a brick and mortar practice, and I'm in that place where I would love to transition to more of the virtual world and being able to help people with the blood work in a virtual way. But I also have this base of practice members who would very much benefit from the functional blood work. And so I am, kind of curious about how to have those conversations and introduce it in a way that there's authority with it.
Yeah. And in Georgia, correct me if I'm wrong, but chiropractors legally cannot read blood work.
Correct. Yes. So, yes.
Yeah.
That's
we
my
don't
understanding.
read it to diagnose, right? We read it to help people fix their problems.
Exactly.
Okay. So walk me through what your current appointments look like.
So, yes, whenever somebody is a regular client or patient, they're coming in for about 10 to 15 minutes.
You're talking like maintenance care, like one or two times a month or something? Okay.
So most people are coming in weekly to twice a month.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of time on your part.
Yes.
Okay, so weekly to twice a month. Do you sell that all up front or do you just sell that like per visit? Like what's your model?
People can choose. So I have, so once they're in what's called a wellness care plan, meaning like they don't have any active complaints, they are welcome to, they have like there's a monthly wellness plan that they can opt into and kind of choose the frequency of care. Obviously, I recommend whatever is best for them with their history, but they can choose which ones they want to. Or people can pay as they go. I let them decide how they want to invest.
Okay. How many people choose the monthly versus choosing the pay as you go? Like give me a percentage, like 50-50?
Yeah, I'd have to guess on that percentage right now, but I would say less than, I'd say maybe 20, 30% at the most are choosing pay as they go. It's so much cheaper to do it the monthly.
Yeah, that's what you want because that's recurring business, right?
And that's easier on me. Yeah. From
not
having to
What is that monthly fee?
Cards. So monthly, so if they are coming in twice a month, it's $129. And with that, they get their, they get access to a portal where they have their own exercises. So there's like other benefits with it as well. They have access to full script. They have access to free progress scans. So they're kind of cocooned and given everything they need to continue doing well.
Okay.
And
do you like that price tag? Do you feel like you're getting drained?
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. I do feel like I'm getting drained, but I also, I just created that price tag last year. So
what was it originally, or had you even offered it?
I actually hadn't even offered it.
Okay,
it was not something
the fact that it's new and most people are taking that option. That's good.
Yeah.
When people come join you as a new patient, what does that look like?
So there's an initial exam. I do a day 1, day 2.
Do they pay?
Then,
Are you like getting them all into the one program, or do they do the initial component and then you get them into the treatment plan?
yeah, they do an initial program, which is usually 3 months intensive. And
Okay.
then after that, they transition into what's called wellness care, which is like that monthly price that I was
Yeah.
telling you about.
Tell me about the 3-month intensive plan.
So the 3-month intensive is just a higher frequency of care based on whatever their symptoms are. Obviously, the more severe symptoms, the more frequency per week. Those plans can range from the highest I really do is 36 visits, which I really don't do that often. Most people are going to be 24 visits or below. So it's going to be twice a week for a period of time. And then they get progress scans.
It's all cash pay.
Yes, everything is cash based.
That's good. So we don't have to worry about insurance. Got that checked off the box.
Yes, thank goodness. I think that was one of the smartest things I did was
Yeah.
not doing insurance.
If you're in insurance, people, get out of that world. It's a crazy world to be in. What is your price tag of your intensive?
So the price of the intensive is going to be based off of how they choose to invest. So, and it's going to be based on the frequency of care. So it can range. So like if they're paying as they go, it's going to be about $2,000 for the 3 months. But they can monthly breaks it up by a percentage, and then if they pay up front, it takes off a percentage as well.
Okay. And how do these people come to you?
I would say referrals are the number one way, or Google. Like they'll just see a Google review or that like chiropractor near me.
Chiropractic near me. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay in the chiropractic world?
I would love to be mostly virtual.
Okay.
That's where I would like to see things pivot.
Do you want to stay in the office 1 day a week, 2 days a week? What does that look like? Do you want to just screw the overhead and be done?
You know, there are some days I'm like, yes, screw the overhead. Like, how do we pack this thing up? I think short term, I would like to do like 2 days a week. And then eventually it would be great to just be free.
Okay. So what if we were to say, we go to, how many days a week do you work right now?
4.
Okay. So we want to do everything within that 4-day time period. Okay. If you were to cut back your clients in chiropractic in office to 3 days a week, starting as soon as possible, could you do that?
Yes.
Okay. So rework your schedule to where it's 3 days a week.
Okay.
And then you're going to dedicate that 1 day to virtual. You're going to build out that runway until it's strong and you can fly off of it on your own. Okay, so that 1 day a week, you get to then host workshops. You're going to invite your current clients in there. You say, hey, I'm hosting a workshop on the CBC. In fact, you've been telling me that you go to get your doctor's house and you go to your doctor and they get the blood work taken and it comes back normal and you're getting really frustrated because you know something's not right. Well, I have some answers. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to be the best person to read your own labs. So come join me on this workshop. You can do it in person if you would like. I don't know what your office setup is like, but you do want to go virtual, so you might as well just host a Zoom call.
Yeah, I would just rather do Zoom.
Yeah.
So they get used to that.
And it's post 2020, like in 2018 and 2019, I was renting hotel conference centers. And just like they're small rooms that you can rent for like $100 an hour or something. And that's where I would host them. Then we went to the Zoom space. Now it's like, oh, bring it on. I can do a lot more people on Zoom than I can in person.
Yeah, so, you can. And they don't have to deal with traffic.
Yes. So it saves them time. It's beneficial for everybody. Like there's a lot of good things that came out of 2020. And not traveling to offices was one of them. So what I would do is I would host one workshop every single month.
Okay.
And on that workshop, I would invite them at the beginning, just invite them to a sales call with you. Once you get the flow of it and you got the program locked in, Now it's like, okay, I'm going to talk about the program. I'm going to get people paying me on the Zoom call for the program before the Zoom call even ends.
Okay.
No, what do you
Would you
think?
recommend?
Go ahead.
Would you recommend not talking about money until on the Zoom call until the system is like really solid, or you're shaking your head no?
You know
No.
me. Be upfront.
Okay.
Just be upfront. Just tell them, hey, this is the
Okay.
program, and we'll walk you through this in just a minute. This is the program. Here's the cost of it. If you're interested, book a call with me. And that way you're getting people who are serious about it, and they're not just wanting to book a call with you just to talk to you and get free information. Now they're like, wait, I'm either in this and I know what the price tag is, because that's the number one reason why people don't reach out. I preached this before. You've heard this. Don't get on social media and say, hey, I work with these people. Reach out to me if you're interested. Nobody's going to reach out with you no matter how good you are, because they don't know what they're reaching out for. They don't know what the commitment is, right?
Yes. It's crickets because they don't know.
Yeah. And it's not because we're a terrible practitioner. We're very good at what we do, but we're not good at marketing. We're selling our products, selling our services. So just be upfront, and you'll want to get your current clientele. Like, that's the way to get them into this new world, because they don't really understand it. They understand that you're a chiropractor. And like when I talk to people now, it's like, no, I don't even tell them I'm a chiropractor. I tell them I'm a functional medicine practitioner or doctor.
Yeah.
You mean you got the DR next to your name too. So just say, I'm a functional medicine doctor. Oh, what is that? Well, I actually help people who keep getting told their blood work is normal get real answers and relief. Oh, really? That's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. That's the kind of response you want. So you're going to introduce your audience to this other modality with the workshop. Now, you've been in my world for a little while. You just have to have the courage to press live.
Yes.
And go for it. Okay, so let's figure out, what does this look like? Who is the type of person that you would like to work with? What's the number one question you get asked in your office outside of chiropractic?
Yeah, the top two complaints that I hear from people are obviously muscle or joint pain, but then I also hear a lot about fatigue and not sleeping.
Okay. Fatigue's a
And
big one.
I would say actually like that fatigue, not sleeping, and the symptoms around burnout are like what my office is kind of known for, I think.
All right, sleep. Sleep would be, I know another, she's a counselor, mental counselor, and she's like, that's like the first thing I have to fix with people is their sleep. It's such a big problem. So let's create a program for sleep. How do you feel about that?
I think that would be great because that's really complementary to, obviously I'm getting away from more the physical stuff, but I blend craniosacral work with my chiropractic. So people fall asleep on my table sometimes because they're like, oh, this is great. My nervous system is relaxed. They don't say that, but that's what's happening. But that would be great to have a program that supported that.
Yeah. And we could create two different options. We could create one that included chiropractic, and then one that was just virtual for the virtual space. Right? With the virtual, let's start with that one, the virtual space program. Do you want to include one-on-one?
I would love to not do one-on-one. I don't know how to get away from it.
Well, that's why you're here with me.
That's right.
I'm the queen of not doing one-on-one. Group is my jam, and DIY is my jam. So, and besides, do you have kids?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, let's create you a lifestyle so that way when you do get the kids, you have freedom for it if you want them. Okay, so let's do a sleep program. I like 90 days. I'm a big fan of that. Yes. So 90-day program for sleep. And what's included? What we want to do is a DIY type, hey, we're on this group call if you want to come join us kind of thing. So it can be DIY for the people who never want to join you, and it can be group for the people who want a little bit of touch. So you're going to create a sleep protocol supplement. Then you're going to have, that's basically what you're going to send them to their door. So to drop ship what they need straight to their door. I would do one Zoom call a month is pretty sufficient. If you want to go overboard and go 2 Zoom calls a month, you can. I tend to just do one at 2 hours long. So like the first hour is focused on something around the mindset and lifestyle. The second hour is more blood work and Q&A.
Okay.
So something around those lines. Besides supplements and the group call, do you feel like sending them some type of guide with some like, hey, what don't do this an hour before you go to sleep kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think that there sometimes is a need reminding people of good like sleep rituals or habits.
Like put the dang phone away.
Yeah, especially the phone and the scrolling.
What I would phrase it in is I would phrase it as like in the 90-day program, I would make it like, hey, we're going to do a 21-day challenge in the first month. And then we're going to do month 2 as a challenge. And then month 3 has a challenge. Okay. Because that way they're actually gonna do it kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then inside the group, which this will be a great group program, honestly, because then you could have the workshop, the Zoom call held at the end of each one of those months, so month 1, month 2, and month 3. And then you get to celebrate whoever completed the challenge and maybe give them some kind of like, Amazon $100 gift card, because that's easy. You just need their email address.
That's amazing.
That way there's motivation for people to actually do this stuff. And then you talk about, what happened? What did they see because of it? Just like diet, when they start to see those results, they're tending to continue on the lifestyle change. But if you were to say to somebody, hey, you need to stop using your phone at night forever, who is going to even start that?
That's not even going to happen.
Yeah. Or you can turn it into a challenge for a certain time period. And now within the 90-day block, now it's fun. Now somebody like me is like, yeah, bring it on. I'm going to prove to you that I can do this kind of thing. So think about what those challenges would be within the 90-day program. And that's it.
It sounds fun. I want to do it.
Yeah, it does sound fun. And that's why you're going to be able to sell it really easily, because now it's fun and you want to actually get on the Zoom calls with them and see how they're doing. And not only that, but send off their supplements. I would honestly, I don't know how you feel about full script, but I would make it to where you are in charge of drop shipping the supplements. They don't order these, you do. Mm-hmm. And Mike and I are creating a one-stop shop pretty soon here. It's in the works right now. So, do you have specific supplements you would use for sleep?
So that's the thing. I've kind of bounced around a little bit with what I've seen people do well with. And so do you know if there are certain markers in the blood work that relate to sleep?
What comes to my head immediately, and it's not in the blood work, that's the problem, is when you were to talk about the HPT axis, so the hypothalamus, the thyroid, the pituitary. At the very top of that food chain, serotonin and dopamine are responsible for running the entire food chain. So you could host a workshop about the thyroid, tie in the sleep and the fatigue, because that's a huge component. Mm-hmm. And talk about how those two neurotransmitters are the fuel behind the whole entire process. As far as other markers, if I were to create a sleep program from a protocol perspective, I always include adrenal support, blood sugar support, and then a neurotransmitter support. That's been in my sleep protocol for a while. So as far as blood work markers, you're looking at the sodium and potassium for the adrenal markers. And then you're looking at blood sugar and A1C. Mm-hmm.
That is great. So when you are doing this DIY with someone, and you essentially will get on a call
Group
with
program.
everyone,
Let's call it a group program because that's what it's going
group
to be.
program.
Challenges. And then when you go to
Perfect.
sell it, it's like, hey, I've got a group program, and we start and we end together. So we are starting February 17th. I don't know, whatever the date is.
Yeah.
And that way they're either in or they're out. That makes people decide, and that's a requirement. If it's just always there, it's really hard to get people to say yes. And then unless their pain is so bad that they're going to do it anyways.
Right.
Hence why chiropractic offices are like, hey, you can have a walk-in chiropractic visit for $25. It's like, oh my gosh.
So when you're doing the group programs, are you ever looking at someone's blood work one-on-one?
No. I have them bring their blood work to that group call.
Okay.
And that's where we all get to go through it together.
Okay. And then when it comes to drop shipping them what they need, are they telling you where the gaps are? Or is it a one size, like, they need the adrenal support, they need the blood sugar,
One size fits all.
Okay.
Okay, but this 90-day program is about getting people into your world, into your door. So they go through the 90 days, they're focusing on the sleep, they're feeling a lot better, their adrenal glands are calmed down, their blood sugar is more stabilized, the neurotransmitters are actually getting produced efficiently. And then they see, wait a second, what else can she do for me? And now you get them into, maybe you create a different program and it's all about blood work.
Okay.
And it's like a 6-month one-on-one blood work stuff where you get to meet with them, 3 times in 6 months. And the first time is all about reading their blood work with them and figuring out a personalized plan that dives in deeper than just the sleep stuff. But that sleep window is such a good window to get inside your world. The functional blood work specialist program for me is like such a great way to practitioners to get them into my world.
Yep.
And then they realize, holy smokes, like you have.
Yes. I love that you differentiated that because I was thinking if I do this group program, I have to solve all their problems in 90 days. And that's just an introduction to the journey you'll take with them.
I mean, you're going to drastically improve their sleep in 90 days. That's why they came to you.
Yes.
But then they start to see their blood work and they realize, I have this and I have this and I have all these other things that the sleep's just one of their issues because, for darn sure, like they've got a whole other bunch of other stuff going on. You introduce the blood work to them, it's a whole new world. And now you've got a 6-month program for $6,500 that you can sell on the back end. Now you took each person into a higher ticket, working with them for longer terms on more of a less hand holding. 3 visits for 6 months. Who wouldn't be willing to do that?
Absolutely. So I know in the past we've talked about
chiropractic office visits now turned into $6,500 virtual.
That's amazing.
Now you just have to do it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna message you. Hey Carolina, when did you host this workshop? How did it go? Have you sold your third sleeping program yet?
Well, I'm excited now. So would you recommend doing that workshop kind of like the workshops that I've held before, like about the blood work, but make it more sleep oriented and that's where you get people?
Yeah, you always want to host the workshop that leads into your program. Okay. So you could call it Hidden Secrets Inside Your Blood Work That's Preventing You from Getting Your Best Night's Sleep. That's kind of long, but how does your blood work tell me why you can't sleep? Not sleeping? Grab your blood work. Let's come figure out why. And then you could reference something around, melatonin just ain't going to cut it for everybody. In fact, it hardly cuts it at all. It's just an easy way out.
It is, yeah.
You could even, here's another thought. Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
People who have fibromyalgia get that stupid diagnosis. They can't sleep, they have pain, and what's the other one? Fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
You could manipulate or warp this into a fibromyalgia thing if you wanted to.
Oh, I like that.
You could host a one-day workshop. Ooh, I got an even better idea.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
3-day challenge for fibromyalgia. Day 1, chronic fatigue. Day 2, sleep. Day 3, pain. By the time day 3 is over, they don't care what the heck you're charging them for a 90-day program. They're in. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does, yes.
Now you can host a workshop for, like, say, chronic fatigue. You're going to host the neutrophil lymphocyte monocyte because, viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the sleeping one, you're going to talk about the cortisol and the blood sugar, the sodium and potassium markers. And then inside the sleep, pain is the other one. What can we do for pain? I always use infections for pain too. Like the neutrophil count is crazy good for pain. Lipid panel. Correlate the lipid panel to inflammation, which causes pain.
That is very true.
Mm-hmm. So now you've got 3 different blood work components, 3 different workshops turned into a 3-day challenge. Each workshop, make it 16, maybe 90 minutes.
Okay.
And don't sell anything on day 1, but pitch your program on day 2 and 3. And now, because you've talked to them about the infections, now your program is more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
So say you've got the support in month 1, the gut destruction in month 2, and the replenish in month 3, but you make sure that you're adding in the adrenal support, the blood sugar support, and a healthy fat in all 3 months, because that covers what you just talked about.
Okay.
So you base on what you covered in your workshops, use that to create the protocol, which is going to be bomb.com anyways. And now your 90-day program, they get a lot of what they need, plus
Mm-hmm.
on top the sleep support.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a 3-day challenge geared to fibromyalgia, which would fit a lot of people inside your office and in the virtual space. You sell them into a 90-day fix my fibromyalgia program, and you make that program at minimum $3,500.
Okay.
You just find the number that's right for you, crunch the numbers when it comes to the supplements, because it literally is your cost of the supplements, your cost of time. That's it.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how many people you have on there because it's a group call.
That's
and then
true.
you got your challenges on month 1 and month 2 and month 3.
Okay. And then after the 90 days, if you're already addressing the support, gut destruction, and replenish.
They're still going to need more.
Okay.
Now, maybe after the 90 days, now it's like, okay, now for those of you who have been asking about hormones, now's the time to address your hormones.
Okay.
And here's a 90-day program for hormones.
Perfect.
But I get people into my 90-day programs, and then we host them and figure out what else do they need, and then we create it.
Okay.
So just create the one first. Create the 3-day challenge, Jingling. That's brilliant. Brilliant, Carolina. You better use that. Brilliant. Why the blood work is like, you just take the blood work and it's your foundation to getting people inside your world. You turn it to how it needs to be said according to the symptoms or the quote unquote diagnosis, and then run with it.
Yeah, and it's something people have access to. It's also not something that's new, right? It's like blood work is established as being a relevant factor, window into your health. So
Yeah. Now, do you have a website designer?
no, I definitely
You need
need
one.
someone who's
Okay.
good.
I will connect you with one because you're going to want to have a website designer who builds your registration page for your 3-day challenge, and then who builds out your sales page for your 90-day program. You're going to get people who want to talk to you about the 90-day program before they buy. You're going to get people who just buy it because they want it and they hung out with you for 3 days.
Okay. Do
And
you
then,
need to talk to everyone before they purchase?
no,
Okay.
no. That's the beauty of hosting the workshops and doing it the way I just told you to do it.
Okay.
Then if you have stories of people who, like, say, I would bring in a story on each day, someone who's like gotten better energy, somebody who slept better, somebody who has real pain relief. And, maybe it's your story to begin with until you get people through these programs, and then you got their stories to utilize. So value, story, and then you pitch the program. Or on day 1, you're like, be sure to come back for day 2. Whether they're live with you or not, they get the replay access. You'll have many people watching the replay, so then you'll take the recordings from Zoom, upload them to YouTube, and then share with people the YouTube link.
Perfect.
So identify the dates you want to run with it, and then I'll connect you with a website designer or 2. Do you want like an entirely new website or just pages for those 2 programs?
I think they are probably going to want to make some changes. So I'm open to
What's your
having the
website called right now?
My website is, so the practice name is The Wellness Connection.
That works. Okay. So that's wellnessconnection.com?
No, so it's TWCATL.
Okay, buy a new URL. And you don't have to have a full-on homepage. You can literally just build a registration page and build a sales page. That's it.
Okay.
But I would pick a URL that matches what you're about to do. So that way when they click, whether it be on Facebook or social media, or whether it be in your office or email list, that URL doesn't look like a scam. It looks like it's, along your terms, along what you're doing in that 3-day challenge. Fixmyfibromyalgia.com. I don't know if it's available, but you should check.
Okay. I'm sure that is
In fact, I'm curious. Let's look it up right now. You never know what's available.
That's true. Not until you look.
$12.
That's it?
Go buy it.
I thought for sure it was going to be I don't know, 10,000, 30,000.
$12. That will look really good on SEO too. People will find that easily.
Now, when it comes to just doing something for sleep, can I do 2 breakout program, 2 different programs, or is it?
I wouldn't, because they're going to cross over and people are going to be like, well, what program should I do?
Oh, okay.
Just
so only one at a time. Okay.
Yeah, the more programs you create, the more confusing they get about what program is right for me, so then they just don't even choose. Made that mistake plenty of times myself, so
okay,
I want to stick with it. And you create this program, and then you see, oh, well, maybe I'm going to have 2 options afterwards. Maybe it's the monthly membership, or maybe it's the 6-month 1-to-1 kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then for your other option, for those of you who are in person or nearby and want chiropractic, then you would just add on chiropractic care and add up the price tag.
Okay.
Or you just say, screw chiropractic and Go virtual.
Sounds very straight.
So that's what I would do. I would do 3 days in the chiropractic office, 1 day on virtual until that platform was taken off. And when you feel like you've ran the challenge like 2 times, I would go the third time. I would go with some ads, and I would open up the audience to be bigger audience, and bring in some traffic that way. And then by the time 2024 is over, you're out of the brick and mortar practice.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be life-changing.
Put it on your wall. Let's call it in. You don't have to listen to anybody else complain about how they hurt their shoulder or low back hurts and they bent over and picked up a pencil.
Yes, it's always something simple.
And then in my head, I'm always like, and your adrenals are shot. I can adjust you all the time I want, but your adrenals are gone.
That's true. That's the gap, right? Like adjusting does so much, but then if they don't take care of the other part, it's just a hamster wheel. So that's why I would love to convert these patients over.
Yeah. And you can offer it now. Like, I know some of you are my chiropractic patients, and that's awesome. I'd love to add this program on top of it because it is a completely separate program. You could have 2 separate entities or just throw on, 1 chiropractic visit a week.
Yeah. What do you do about people who get hung up on, well, I don't have the diagnosis of fibromyalgia, but they might have all the other symptoms?
On your registration page, say like, maybe you have the diagnosis, maybe you don't, and you have all the symptoms. Either way, this is for you.
Okay.
So just include that in your messaging. And that's a cop-out diagnosis anyway, so.
It is, yes.
All right, Miss Chiropractic, who's about to hate adjusting and get into the virtual world.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I laugh because that was me. And like I will record, I was on stage in Dallas in front of 600 people, and I'm like, I'm a chiropractor who hates adjusting, and everybody starts laughing. I'll introduce myself. And even now, my mom will be like, well, you should just adjust. Andrew, my husband, can you just fix my neck? No, go see somebody who does it for a living.
Yes.
Adjusted in years. When do I ever plan on doing it again?
Yeah, I just am so excited to pivot out of the brick and mortar space.
That 3-day challenge, I mean, you better do that. Let me know when that 6 figures rolls in. Kylie, I made 6 figures and I only worked like 5 hours a week.
I will. You're going to be like the first person I call or message. I'm just going to be like, I can't wait for that to happen.
Well, come tell me in person because we're going to host an in-person event in September of next year. Not quite Q1.
Okay.
We got a lot of things we're doing in Q1. So
you decided on September?
We're going to do September, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why is because it's my birthday. So we're going to have like a birthday bash with it.
I love it. Celebration.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap.